I will wait on you. It took a long time to know what I needed, and now it's clear whenever you are near. Forever holding out for you. It took a long time to find what I was looking for, and when it did, it all fit together. It took a long time to see what was in front of me, and I can't lie, no matter how I try. Forever holding out, forever holding out for you. I'll go chasing rainbows, near or far. I'll color your world. Ooh. Someday I will find you, shooting star. You belong in my head, in my head. Would I be the same without you, without you? The sky won't ever change without you, without you. In my head there are mountains, endless sunsets, rivers and streams. In my dreams, blue skies, I see your eyes. Where, oh where, wherever you are, you're with me. Would I be the same without you, without you? The sky won't end.